Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well. My name is Connor, and as you can tell by this title of this video, I failed my NCLEX on June 26, 2020. If you hear some squeaking in the background, those are my two puppies, so I apologize for that. I just wanted to come on here because as I was doing some research, as I was looking up videos, just to kind of get that motivation with retaking the NCLEX, thinking of the strategies I'm going to do differently, I really didn't find a video that someone had just posted of after they failed and before they're taking the NCLEX again. I've always found they failed their NCLEX, they showed you what they did to study, and then at the end of the video, they're like, oh my gosh, I passed. So I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some insiders of what I'm doing differently, what I did before and what I'm doing now, and also just to give you guys hope. I think every nursing student, whether you're male or female, because guys do cry, especially in nursing school, I think when we find out that we failed our NCLEX, we feel defeated. And it's just one of those common stress response things. I think that's something that is built in our hypothalamus if you're a nursing student or any type of medical student. If you fail, it's already been built into your head that you're going to go into some type of depression maybe, or just sadness, or you just feel defeated. And I'll be honest, I did. I felt defeated for the first, I found out on a Sunday. And Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I kind of felt like I was a failure. And I remember texting someone and I said, I'm a failure. They're like, no, you're not. And I said, no, literally. Pearson told me that I failed, so I'm a failure. But how did I get back up? Well, to give you guys a little background about nursing school for me, I did not get into the nursing program right away, so I felt like I failed then. I had to go 5 years because I changed my major, and it was a once-a-year type of admission, so I felt like a failure there, too. I failed OB, felt like a failure there because I had to retake OB, which I'll never be an OB nurse. Props to anybody who will. And also, I don't know, this NCLEX, I felt like a failure. But what I've noticed is a trend. Every time that I've failed, I've always been given the gasoline to kind of get right back up, maybe even a little bit more gasoline than before, and just really knock out what I needed to in order to reach that goal. And I did that for everything that brought me up to this moment. I got into nursing school. I passed OB. I did my 5 years of college, and I've graduated, and I'm here now. I failed the NCLEX, and that's just one of those small bumps in the road that I just have to face so that I can get right back up again, get that gasoline I needed to really focus. So what did I do before? I'll be honest, I did maybe 500 euro questions, and I compared myself to my friends. And I bet there's someone out there just like me who also compared themselves to their friends. Their friends took the NCLEX, they passed with flying colors, maybe they got out with 60, because right now with COVID it's 60. They also may have felt like they studied a little bit and they took the NCLEX and they failed. Well, that was me. I did about 500 euro questions and that was it. I maybe spent 2 hours a day studying and I got nowhere with it. I took the NCLEX on June 26th. I may have mentioned that before. And as I was taking it, I started to freak out because people told me before if you weren't getting enough select all that applies, more than likely you failed. Well, I maybe got 4 select all that applies. Lots of matching and lots of delegation and prioritization. But I will tell you this, that is not defined if you pass or fail with getting those select all that applies. I know some people who got 5, 10, 15 select all that applies and a lot of the delegation and prioritization. So just know that if you're not getting those, don't get that anxiety because that does not mean anything. The NCLEX has thousands of questions out there. And as we all know, it's in a computer adaptive testing. So that means that it's going to give you harder questions. Well, when you get into a real patient scenario, you're not going to have a select all that applies scenario. You're going to have some of those one question answers that be like, okay, we're going to give betamethasone. Okay, we're going to give carbamazepine. I don't know why, but you might get a question like that. But so yeah, don't let the stereotypes, the people out there, don't compare yourself to how their tests went, because more than likely you're going to have every single question different than the person that you know took the NCLEX. So after I found out I failed, I took some days to just kind of, actually I took a whole week. I took a whole week to kind of just say, okay, I need a break. I'm obviously overwhelmed. And I took that time to really think, okay, what am I going to do differently? So I went on the internet, I searched. I found so many useful resources. I found so much motivation. Watching YouTube videos of people who have failed and they've passed on the second try, that gave me so much motivation, guys, just to know that I can do it. And so what did I do? What am I doing differently now that I did before? Well, one, I'm still sticking to UWorld because it was expensive, and I liked UWorld. I like that they provide you with the rationales, and those rationales can help you with other questions. So I'm doing that. I also am listening to Mark Klimick's audios. I kid you not, Mark Klimick, the way that he presents, the way that he talks, even though we're not in person, even though we can't see him, somehow his information just sticks with you. And what I did was I actually devoted a whole notebook to just Mark Klimick. And I'm about 3/4 of the way through his audios. There's 12 audios. I think I'm on number eight right now. So I've devoted a whole notebook. I'm listening all the way through his audios, taking the notes down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-listen to his audios. So I did that. Secondly, UWorld. I already talked about it a little bit before. I've devoted 75 questions a day for 6 days a week. I've devoted 6 to 7 hours a day for 6 days a week to studying. I quit my full-time job so that I could stay fully devoted to this. I know that in some cases you can't, and if you can't, just work around it. Each of us have different backgrounds. We come from different places, so some people may have to work. I'm fortunate enough that I don't need to work right now. So UWorld. What I do is I take 75 questions and I keep the tutor mode on and I write down the rationales. So I have all of this stuff. These are my rationales of what I've gotten right and what I've gotten wrong. Unless it's something really simple like how to change a dressing or something, I don't waste time doing that. So I've done that. I ordered this book because I found that I was having a huge struggle with prioritization, delegation, and assignments. There's going to be questions on UWorld, questions on the NCLEX, and just down the road of what patient would you see first? What patient would be your priority? I felt like I was having trouble with those. So listening to Mark Klimick, because I just got done listening to one of his lectures, and I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. So I'm doing that. Now, with every failure in the NCLEX, you get something called a CPR, which is a performance analysis of how you did on the NCLEX. And so I have also looked at that, and I found that pharmacology was another below the level area. So what did I do? I went out and bought farm flashcards. And what this does, none of this is advertised, none of this is being sponsored, so don't think that I'm doing that. But what it does is it breaks down each system, and it gives you the drugs. Do I need to know all these? No, because once again, Mark Klimick tells us exactly what we need to know and how we need to know it. He's always said that you don't need to memorize. It's not good to memorize. It's not good to know everything. If you know 5 of one thing, you can flip it, and you'll know the 5 of the other things that you need to know about that one specific category. So like opioids, or just drugs that are addicting. He tells you about 5 drugs to know, and if it's not one of those 5, then obviously it's a downer. The 5 that are he talks about are uppers, the rest are downers, so you know which symptoms go with what. The last 2 things that I'm doing, now you guys might think, well, you're doing way too much. I'm not. And I took this into consideration of what I'm doing and what I'm not, what I shouldn't be doing. There's something called TOOTRN, and there's a 98% pass rate. I just started it. It's kind of like a college lecture class that you take for a month, and Nurse Janice shows you techniques to use when taking the NCLEX, when answering questions. So I'm doing that as well. The last thing I'm doing is I just ordered Hearst Review. I also felt that I was very... I did not know my content as well as I probably should have. So with Mark Klemick sharing some of his content, also with Hearst Review, I feel like I'm going to have a good solid foundation of the content when it comes to the actual NCLEX. And I'm taking my NCLEX again on August 15th. Something else with Mark Klemick that I kind of want to point out that he talks about in his audios, which his audios are free online. Just make sure that if you do find his audios through Google, just type in Mark Klemick audios. It's going to be something called, I think it's called either Clutch or Crutch, something like that. It will be the first one. When you click on his audios, if another screen opens, do not download anything that it says. I don't know why, but it's like advertisements. Just exit the screen and then click on the audio again, and it should instantly show a black screen with like an audio player to press play. So Mark Klemick is amazing. I'm going to say that over and over again just because Mark Klemick is amazing. His way of teaching, he also wrote the NCLEX questions for a certain amount of years, so he knows how to study for the NCLEX because, well, obviously, he wrote the NCLEX. So I hope this helps y'all. Once again, some of the online content I'm using is UWorld, Hearst Review, 2RN, and Mark Klemick. May sound like a lot, but I'm really managing my time. The reason that I chose 2RN and Mark Klemick was because they're more focused on how to answer questions, not so much the content. Mark Klemick is actually both, but he also talks about how to answer questions. And also Nurse Jana with 2RN also talks about specifically like there's a 3-step rule that you can follow with answering questions for the NCLEX. I hope that this helps, and I hope that I just gave you guys some hope, because right now in my season of life, I failed the NCLEX. I haven't passed the NCLEX, I failed it. But I want you guys to see that just within 3 weeks of time, because I've watched some videos, and some of y'all, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but some of you guys are really like putting yourself down. But in order to be a nurse, we really just have to focus on being the person that we were called to be, and we have to set a level of professionalism, because we're going to experience some traumatic scenes in our nursing career. Well, sorry, those are my puppies again. They're 9 weeks old. But anyways, so yeah. We're going to experience some things in our life where we have to show a professionalism. So I hope that this gives you guys some hope. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to comment below. I'm going to be posting more videos of what I'm doing throughout my journey. So if you guys want to follow along, if you guys want to provide me with some insight, maybe there's something out there that works for you that you want to just throw in the comments below, do that. I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I just truly know that you were called to be a nurse. You passed nursing school. It took you 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 8, 12 years to pass nursing school, but you did it. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, is that you accomplished a goal. And so keep reminding yourself, telling yourself that you are going to be a nurse. Hope you guys have a good day. Catch you later.